What is happening, YouTube? How y'all doing today? My name is Joe, just your average Joe, hanging out in the garage, getting ready to go over some eBay stuff. We got comments to go over as well. Um, yeah, today not a ton of sales, but we have some things we'll cover. Also sourcing. I didn't cover that yesterday, and I wanted to kind of touch on sourcing and go over that as far as where you can some places that you can source things and find things so you can resell stuff. So anyway, appreciate you joining me today. Again, my name is Joe, just your average Joe. I've been reselling full time for 8 years and been reselling and buying on eBay since 2000. So I've been around eBay quite a while. It's starting to become a love hate relationship right now because it's just not eBay is just not turning the wheel like it has been for me before. It's been the last 2 weeks have been pretty uh not what I'm used to. I'll just say that. So anyway, that's at least my journey right now. Just struggling a little bit. It happens. It's happened in the past. You just go through some lulls. It's always this. It's always this thing on eBay. I don't think anybody's always like trajectorying up and up and up and up and up. I think everybody's kind of goes on those waves, man. Now you could maybe trajectory up a little bit, but depending on how hard you're hustling. But at some point, you're going to start going through some of these waves. But anyway, that's what's happening right now. My mail lady is not working today, so the mail guy stopped by. He was a little reluctant. I was like, dude, you're here early, man. Like usually y'all ain't here till noon, and so it's like 10 o'clock right now. And he was like, yeah. He was like, I'm filling in for her. He's a guy that I haven't seen before, and so I was like, well, you mind coming back? She usually come back, she comes back for me after she does those two neighborhoods. She'll circle back. And he was like really reluctant. He was like, well, I'm filling in for her, and I'm hit. I only have half of a route today, and then I go back to my route, and I'm like, okay, fair. I was like, if you're hitting over there, that other neighborhood, but when you're done with that one, I'll be done packing and shipping, and just swing right back over before you head back out. So he was like, well, I can't make any promises, but I'll. I was like, okay, fair, no problem. Worst case, they'll ship out tomorrow, and as we know, as long as I do the labels today, I won't get dinged on my account for late shipment because I got next day ship set up. So what I'm going to do first, because of that, is I'm going to go ahead and share orders and go ahead and pack and have them ready in case he does swing by. Because he's quick, man. He's quick. I'll just say that. Like my mail lady kind of like lollygags a little bit, and he tears through this neighborhood, man. He goes like vroom, to the next mailbox, vroom, to the next mailbox. I mean, he's got the little box truck from UPS, so he tears that thing up. My mail lady has her own car. She just nice and she cruises to the next mailbox and does her thing, and then cruises to the next mailbox and does her thing. Anyway, maybe it's because he has two routes, and so he's trying to hustle, but he's getting it. I'll just say that he's getting it. All right, so let's go over sales first. We'll do that and get them packed. I only have like 4 sales, so it won't take too long. Then we'll cover comments, and then we'll just dive in a little bit on sourcing, because I did want to touch on some sourcing. Um, so give me a moment here. Let me sign into my eBay. Like I said, I only had 4 sales, I believe. So let's see what we got here. I should probably start bringing this up before I go live, huh? Or start recording, not live, but start recording. All right, sell and orders. My sales, my 90-day sales average is just steadily going down, man. I was at like 32, just over 30,000 90 days sales, and now it's like I just hit 23 and change, 23.9. I've been floating around 25 for a while, but now it's again, I'm just not getting the dollar sales that I'm used to. So things are steadily kind of coming down a bit. So we had 4 sales for $91.38. So that was from yesterday to today, a whopping $91.38. That's not including shipping. So didn't even hit my bare minimum, which is $100. So there's that. And I got 650 items up on eBay, and I got a lot of good stuff up. It's just wild right now. I don't know. I'm thinking about going through my whole store again and dropping prices, and or just doing a 5% promo. So I think I'm going to do that. I think today I'm going to end the promotion I have and start a new promo just to help get some engagement, and then which is the marketing promotion. I think I'm going to do that today. Start a new one, and then I'm going to do 5% off the whole store. Anything that's older than like 90 days, I'll probably do 10% off. If you guys remember, I already dropped prices manually on my whole store myself. I went through every single item and dropped prices probably about 3 weeks ago now. So it's seems like it did okay for the first week after, because I ended up hitting, man, I had a great week that week. But since then, it's just been stagnant for now the past 2 weeks or so. So anyway, the other thing that's on the back of my mind is cross listing is still on the back of my mind, using Vendu to cross list to whatnot. And then if that does decent, then, then maybe, creating a Poshmark, creating a Macari, because you got to create the accounts first and then cross listing into those. We'll see. I think I might start slow and just do whatnot first and see how that does. So, but anyway, when I do that, I'll certainly share that as well on how that all works and all that good stuff. First thing it sold, let's get going, is a controller, a pink Xbox controller. Sold for $34. This is the one I talked about yesterday. They accepted the offer. So $34, pretty much brand new, plus shipping on that. Next thing that sold was Brock Lesnar, wrestling figure. Brock Lesnar. So this sold for $10, free shipping, $10 free shipping. I really just need to put this whole box up as a lot instead of having all the onesie twosies on this. I got a whole box full of wrestlers and they sell so slow. I sold a couple when I first got the collection. There's a couple that I got a bunch of watches on that they're like $17 or $15 figures. So maybe keep those separate and then just bundle the rest for like $100, because the two other bundles I had of wrestling figures sold pretty well. I had so anyway. Yeah, I think I may have to just pull all of those listings down and just sell that as a bulk. I said that before, and I just haven't done it. Next thing that sold was a Bose remote control for $22 plus shipping. So it's a Bose remote. It's got like a little stand that it sits on. But Bose remotes, man, don't sleep on Bose remotes. They usually go pretty good. All right, next thing is, or the last thing now, is the Pokemon. Another, was it $11 free shipping for sealed Pokemon black and white DVD. So there's that. So, all right, I'm going to pack these up real quick, and then we will go over comments, and we'll go ahead and just talk about sourcing now since I'm just packing. So I want to kind of cover sourcing yesterday, and I rewatched my video, and I was like, "Oh, you didn't talk about sourcing at all." So let's talk about sourcing. Just kind of pick a topic, every episode, and just dive in a little bit. So if you're new to this, and I did mention it yesterday, as far as like if you're new to this, what I would recommend doing first is go through your house, see the stuff that's in your house that you're looking to get rid of, and look it up, and see what it goes for. So I would recommend doing that first. If you're looking to get into this and you're not quite sure how to do anything yet, or, the rhythm of how this all works, from packing and shipping to all that kind of stuff, sourcing, looking things up, checking comps, posting your things on eBay, all that kind of stuff. You just kind of, get used to it by starting, especially if you've never done this before, starting with your own stuff first. So, go through your house, look up things that you're looking to get rid of, look those things up, and you'll be surprised. A lot of things that you don't feel is valuable or has any value to it, you'll be surprised, especially if you're not really a reseller. Trust me, you'll be surprised on how much some things are still worth that you have laying around the house that you deem or feel is not, there's no value to it anymore. So anyway, so I would recommend doing that. So, and then as far as like when it comes to sourcing, what I do and what I've done in the past. So I'm going to, touch on all the things that I've done. Now that may be things that I'm currently still doing, or I may not be doing anymore. But there are ways to source, and there may be other ways. In fact, there's always other ways. So drop it in the comments if I missed anything, just to help folks out as to how you source. Where do you go to source stuff? What are the things that you, the places that you go, or connection that you've made to source. And again, I say that because sourcing sometimes is networking. In order you get people that you network with. So we'll start with that. You network with people when you're out at yard sales and things like that. That's one way to source. Well, yard selling. Let's start there. Yard selling is a way to source. So we'll start there. Yard selling. Then making connections at the yard sales is another sourcing opportunity, because people will call you. It's very rare and it doesn't happen often, but people will call you or text you after the fact and be like, hey, I got this, or hey, I got that, especially if you've made a little bit of a connection with that person, you exchange information, and you let them know, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Again, that's a good way to source. And what I like about that is a lot of times those situations pop up. People message you like you weren't even, like, you were having a down week, and you're like, man, things are just rough this week. And then all of a sudden, for sourcing, and then all of a sudden you get a message from somebody that you had a connection with like 2 months ago or 6 months ago, and they're like, hey, I've got some things, I was just curious if you're into any video games. And then you're like, oh man, that was, it's almost like a saving grace kind of thing. Like, man, I was doing, things were looking bleak this week, and then boom, you got somebody to just reach out to you. So that's not going to happen a lot, but that does happen. And so it seems like that happens when you least expect it and you need it. Those things end up popping off like that. Estate sales are another place to source. I don't personally like estate sales much anymore, because you got to wait in line for the good stuff, and then you may not even get to go in and be the first, 5 or 10 people in the estate sale. That's the problem with estate sales, is depending how it's set up and depending how big the house is, they only let a certain amount of people in at any given time. So, but sourcing at estate sales is a great place to a great avenue to source it. The only thing with estate sales is things are usually priced a bit high, so the margins are lower. That's another thing to consider. You can still find a lot of gems though, so don't get me wrong. Let's see, where else to source. I've sourced through storage units before. So we used to do storage units like one a month or so, maybe two, it just depends. So we used to source that way as well. Now that way, depending on what type of units you're getting into. Hey, what's up? Yep. I don't think we have an extra pillow though, but yes, I can look. We might have an extra pillow. But let me ask you a question. Did you take a shower today? You didn't take a shower last night, did you? No. Me and you, well, not me and you, but we're gonna need to get you a bath. Probably when I'm done working. That's fine. But I gotta do this. I gotta do my helmets. I gotta check payments for my helmets, and then I'll be free. Okay. So, you good? Okay. All right.
When will you be done?
Not long. With this, maybe 15 minutes, and then I'm already done packing, so I just got to do my labels. You trying to be on camera? Yeah. Um. So the thing with storage units is, depending on the type of storage unit that you get, may have big bulky furniture and things like that. So you got to be mindful of having an avenue to get rid of it. What we did is we had a storage unit as well that we would put all of those big items in. I would marketplace those big items, like all the furniture, couches, all that big stuff. That's the other thing, is you want to mess with that kind of stuff too. Food for thought. That's, the things you get in storage units. Sometimes you can't even see it all. So you end up, even though you don't want anything big, there's so many boxes and stuff. And then behind all the boxes is a washer and dryer, or a dresser, or whatever. And so you do accumulate some big things going that route as well. But there's good money to be made in storage units too. So storage units, estate sales, garage sales, just networking. Sheesh, can't talk, with others. Flea markets is a okay place to source too. Typically, flea markets, the regular vendors that are in the flea markets, you don't want. I mean, those are not times they're charging retail or darn near close to retail or eBay. So obviously that's not a good place to source. However, the little, I call them junker guys, or the storage unit guys, or the house clear out guys. they typically will set up outside of the flea markets. You know, they have their trailers and all that kind of stuff, all their tables, and they come up and they're just trying to get rid of stuff because they accumulate so much stuff. They're just trying to move, move, move. So those are the guys that you can get good deals from, come across good stuff from. Let me get these labels on so that way he can't, if he comes back. But so anyway, so flea markets is another, it can be another good place to source as well. So let's see what's next. 4 ounces there. Let me think, am I missing anything? As far as what I used to do, as far as how I source. Marketplace is another good place to source as well. 8 ounces there. Yeah, Marketplace is another good place to source. 37, that's 4. Okay. All right, so we are done here. Let me print these out. I think that's the trash, folks, too. I need to get the trash out, huh? Is that the trash? Yep. All right, let me get the trash, too. I hear you. I'm coming. Yep. I got you. Let me leave the mic here so it doesn't disconnect and then none of this video is captured. All right, hold on. All right. So, why did this go medium, man? Oh, I guess it's because it's a DVD. I noticed my mic picks me up pretty loud if I had it too far up. So I try to keep it a little bit further down. All right, so let's print these out. Okay. All right, so there's that. I'm not going to talk a ton because of the garbage truck's here. So once they go, we'll get going again. Michael, Linda. Got it, Linda. There you go. We got old Brock Lesnar here going to Justin. And then we got the controller. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. All right. Let me go put this stuff out for him, and then we'll continue. You good? Oh, let me put this down so I don't. Hey, do you want to come to the golf course with me while I hit some balls? Today? Yeah, you got to. There's really nowhere to like hang out. You'll just kind of sit in the car, but I'm only there for like 15 minutes. I'm gonna hit some balls and then come home. You can sit in the air conditioner in my truck. Could I come out with you? You can, but you got to be quiet because you can't disturb other people while they're hitting. You just have to. You can just sit on the grass right behind me. Could I go too? I mean, I don't have any clubs for you to hit. I'm not actually playing golf. I'm just hitting balls. It's called the driving range. So they gave me 30. Listen, they gave me 35 balls, and I just hit. It's a big field, and they give me 35 balls, and I hit 35 balls, and that's it. Then I go home. So however long it takes me. Yesterday it took me like 15 minutes to hit 35 balls. It didn't take long.
You went yesterday?
Yeah, I went yesterday. I'm trying to get a little bit better at golf because I want to play with my buddies when they go play. So right now I'm no good. I'm so bad I can't even play with them. So you can come either hang out in the truck with me, or you can come sit right behind me on the grass. It's really nice grass. I know you want to golf with me, but I don't have golf clubs for you. That's the problem.
Can't we go pick any up?
No, I can talk to my friend Brandon, but he's not going to drop them off yet. He's in vacation right now. So stop messing with that.
Why can't I pick some up?
Because they don't have kid golf clubs at the golf place, and so I'd have to order them. And I'm not ordering a whole set of golf clubs because my buddy has some from his kids that they don't use them anymore. Remember I told you that. So I can get you some.
Use one of yours?
You can't. Mine's way too big.
No, it isn't.
Okay. All right. We'll figure that out later. That'll be something we figure out later.
Where are we going?
I don't know. Maybe we'll when we head out for lunch. We'll go there first. Okay. It's not. You're not gonna have to sit there for long. You can just sit right behind me on Indian style in the grass. The grass is like carpet. It's so nice. It's like really nice grass. So you can just there's like no bugs in it either, which is weird. But you can just sit in the grass right behind me. I'll hit 35 balls, and then we'll go get some lunch. You're hitting my mic. Okay. All right, we'll figure it out. Let me finish doing this because I'm already 20 minutes in, and they've been just listening to us talk. So why don't you go? Let me finish doing what I'm doing, and then I can get done that much faster because I got to go upstairs and check a bunch of payments for the helmet stuff, and then I got like 25 helmets I got to ship out today. Yes, we'll work on that. All right, so sorry for that. Again, raw and unedited, right? There we go. All right, so packing and shipping is done. Let's move over to comments. So sourcing, one last time. I got sidetracked, like 3 times already when it comes to sourcing. So sourcing, estate sales, yard sales, connections with other people, storage units, flea markets. There's local. It might be hard to find, but there's a lot of times in your area, the guys or gals, the folks that set up their house. Like I've got like 3 guys locally that have their house set up as a permanent yard sale. It's basically their store, and that's what they do full time. So the one guy has a really nice setup. I mean, he's got like 3 buildings just full of stuff, and he's open all Thursday through Sunday. So hey, what's up? Yeah, that's fine. Actually, no, she's cleaning her room and stuff. I'll send her over when she's ready. She should be cleaning her room and whatnot. Her room's a disaster. She shouldn't even be out here really. There's those folks that set up their house basically as a permanent, the garage, buildings, sheds, whatever, as like permanent yard sales or stores basically. So this guy does storage units. The one that I'm talking about specifically, I'll use him as an example. So you wouldn't know about him, wouldn't know. I mean, he advertises from time to time on Marketplace, but it's a good place to source because he gets stuff all the time. He's willing to negotiate, and he comes across crazy stuff. Like last week, he did 12 storage units. He cleared out 12 storage units. He's got like, excuse my language, I was about to say, he's got a crap ton, an F ton of trailers full of stuff that he gets behind in processing. So it's just trailers full of stuff that he's picked up, cleared out at storage units, and is yet to go through. Anyway, I'm saying all that to say you can get yourself connected with folks that do that for a living that you can also use as sourcing opportunities and places to source. So that's another avenue. And how do you find them? I mean, I used to do storage units, so that's kind of how I got connected with him. And then he does advertise on Marketplace from time to time, so that would be another avenue where if you happen to see somebody advertise on Marketplace, you go check them out. They may have their house it may be a permanent store at their house, yard sale type store at their house. So there you go. Now you got a little honey hole that you can check out and go to regularly. Thrift stores, in my area, thrift stores are not great. Goodwills, Hope Harbor is another type of Goodwill. Eh, you got to be there when they bring the stuff out. You got a bunch of it's like flies on shit. I can say that. I don't. I have the kids thing turned off, but it's like flies on shit when they. And what I mean by that is when the attendants bring out a cart of all the stuff they've just processed to put out on the shelves, it's like everybody that's hanging out in there is waiting that are resellers. Let me backtrack. Everybody that's in there that's resellers, they hang out in there, they look for stuff, and then they are also waiting for the new stuff to come out on the carts. And so they'll hang out and I've seen it. I've been there. They'll hang out in there for like 2 hours and just wait for each load to come through. So again, can you get good stuff and you do that? And yeah, absolutely. Hope Harbor Goodwills come through and get tons of good stuff, but you got to be that first person there. And then it's a battle, like because you got like 15 resellers hoarding and flying over to one little cart with a bunch of stuff on it. So it's just it's wild. It's not my cup of tea. You can find stuff that's just hanging on shelves and hanging on racks, and that's been put out, especially if it's just got put out. You can still find things. I mean, I remember finding a Wake Forest bomber jacket for like, I think it was $10. It sold for like 90. So there I've hit a few things in yards in Hope Harbors and Goodwills as well. So that's another place to source, but that's just not my cup of tea. Different folks, different strokes for different folks. I mean, I would say if you're into like clothes and jeans, Hope Harbors and Goodwills are probably a great place to source, because they just have them in abundance. It's crazy the amount of clothes they have. So if you're a clothes person, jeans person, yeah, especially in my Hope Harbors and Goodwills, the ones around here don't have a ton of hard goods or media or other kind of stuff. It's I'd say 80%, 75% of their floor is all clothes. Um, so anyway, and I do know that other places, it's all demographic kind of thing. So other places, inner cities, uh, you know, different cities have different things and different setups and different have sort can you'll see different things. I mean, I've seen Hope Harbors and Goodwills on some YouTube channels where people have like, they drop off video games and Nintendo 64s and Super Nintendos and they put them out. I don't think our Hope Harbor gets that kind of stuff hardly, or our Goodwills hardly get that stuff hardly ever. I've never seen anything really gaming related much in those locations. Now I'm sure they get them from time to time. I'm not saying they don't, but ours don't get those kinds of things in abundance. So like, again, I just don't go. So I probably am leaving off quite a few places to source. So again, drop it in the comments. Let me know where do you source, and which one of your places are the most favorite to source. Like, where do you enjoy sourcing? My favorite place to source, based from all my experiences, is still yard sales. I still enjoy doing the yard sales because a lot comes from that power of the asking people things that you're looking for. A lot of times you come across the things that you're looking for. If you can hit a lot of yard sales in a small amount of time, like on a Saturday, hit 20 some yard sales, you're bound to hit some good stuff. You can go to the flea market and walk through the flea market and not see a darn thing, and spend an hour there, if not more, and not really see much or get much. Same thing with estate sales. You can spend an hour or two in an estate sale and not really see much. So, well, you'll see stuff, but there may not be enough margins in it. They price too high, or there's just not a ton there for good for reselling. So, anyway, again, that doesn't mean that there's not estate sales or not flea markets that aren't good. That's just my experience based off of my preferences and how I do things. But again, depending what you sell, where you're at, all that kind of stuff, the type of estate sale or demographic and the location, all that, can certainly change. So again, tell me what you like the best. What's your favorite place to source and why? So there you go. All right, let's go over comments and then we'll pretty much wrap it up. I think we might be able to keep this video under 35-ish minutes. We'll see. Depends how much more I ramble. All right, first comment up is the Dark. The Dark says, "Hey Joe, I'm from the Bronx and also talk with my hands." Hey, paisan, there you go. So you're not alone there. I saw your last video about that. What's a weird buyer experience you've had recently? I noticed that some buyers just don't read descriptions before they buy. before they buy an item. Thanks for the information. Thank you for the informative and entertaining video. Well, you're welcome. The Dark. Appreciate you hanging out. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Um, the only thing I can think of recently that I had just a weird situation with a customer was a guy, and I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, and it's the one that just pops off the top of my head right now. So I've had a lot, but the one I can think of the most recently that's on the fly is I had an Xbox and an OG Xbox. It just sold yesterday on the video I posted yesterday, but like 2 weeks ago, a guy was messaging me, not even maybe a week ago, was messaging me about that OG Xbox, and he was like, um, wanting me to ship it the next day. And I'm like, okay, well, it was like Wednesday or Thursday. And I was like, well, if I do next day shipping, it'll still probably not get there till Friday. I was like, if I do Ground Advantage, it might show up Monday, maybe Tuesday, but you're going to, doing overnight's going to be like $100 and the system's like $100. So, I mean, it's not really worth it to go that route. We went back and forth, discussing that kind of thing. And at the end of it, he was just like, you know what? I forget what I said. Oh, he said he was trying to check out or something, and he was having a problem with eBay, and it wasn't letting him check out. And I was like, well, so after it was all said and done, we he was going to purchase it, and then he said he ran across a snag checking out. Mind you, he had zero feedback, so I automatically know like he either doesn't know how to use eBay, and I can only help so much, or he's a scammer and trying to pull some sort of scam or something. I don't know. So anyway, he's like, I'm having trouble. I can't. It's not letting me check out this, and that, and the third. And I was like, well, you may have to contact eBay to see what's going on with your eBay. And then he messages me back and he says, you just lost a sale. That's ridiculous. You can't help me with that, dude. I can't click and do stuff for you. No, I can't hit buy it now, which should be right in your face. I don't, so if those things aren't there, no, I can't help you with that. You need to call eBay. Anyway, it was like, okay, so what? I lost a sale. I'll somebody else will buy it. I don't really care. And a week later it sold. But anyway, that's probably not a very good one, but that's the one that's on top of my head right now. So there's that. So I'm gonna also replied on newest video. Let's copy that so I don't have to retype it every time. Thumbs up and a heart. There we go. All right, next comment up. Mr. Buck Shaw, Mr. Brett Shaw. Again, 10 years. We all know you will stretch that computer 20 years at least. You're probably not wrong, Brett Shaw, because I built it myself. It might last for 20 years. I mean, my buddy built his like over 10 years ago, and his is still like ridiculous. Like it's still good. It's still better than a lot of computers that are coming out now. I mean, when he built that thing, it was anyway. So I would say I built mine pretty good. I've used pretty good stuff in it. I'm gonna get at least 10 years out of it. If I can go 20, I'll take it. If it works, I'll keep using it for 20 years. I don't care. That's just how I do. All right, next comment up is great. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Or that's both hilarious and awesome. There is demand for flat screen. Is the demand for flat screen CTR TVs again? So great. Thanks a lot. So the flat screen, yes, there is a demand for them. They're called, what they call them now is retro gaming TVs. So like I had a 20 inch. No, I think it was 24 inch. Yeah, I think it was 24 inch. So I had two, actually in the past, this year alone, I've sold three of them. I've picked up three and I've sold three. They're all been 20 to 24 inch. They all usually have the DVD player or VHS built into them. And they're all the old school CRT flat screens. So not the CRT curved screens. They made them, there was a small window there of maybe, I don't know, 5 to 7 years, maybe not even that much. Late 90s to early 2000s time frame before regular flat screens, LCDs, and all that started becoming popular, plasmas and all that, or more affordable rather. So they had the CRT tube flat screen HD TVs, right? So anyway, people use those for retro gaming TVs now, and yes, they sell for actually pretty good money. I've picked every one of them up for $5 or less, free. I think the one was free. People just want to get rid of them, put them on eBay. They all sell within like a month for me, and they all sell for $150, give or take, typically. So it's a pain in the butt to pack and ship them. I usually buy a box, and I usually charge like $100 or something like that, $75 to ship. Uh-oh, he's back. All right, mailman came back. Good deal. Good deal. I'll be right back. I'll let him know it's on the front porch. Let's put this right here. Okay. They're on the front porch in that bin. Yep, they're on the front porch. I appreciate you, man. All right, good deal. So, all right, packages are going out today. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, CRT flat screen, old school. Yes, they are now retro gaming TVs. So there's that. All right, next comment we had was Jesus. Jesus says, Average Joe Wilson A2000s is a pro style ball glove. Oh, okay. Highly sought after. Rawlings, Heart of the Hide. I didn't know that. And the Nakona baseball gloves are another bolo. Thank you for the lessons and continued success. Cheers, Joe. I didn't know that. With the Wilson's A2000s and the Heart of the Hide. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out on those. But I come across gloves all the time. I pick them up from time to time, and they normally don't sell very well for me. So I guess I just got to make sure I'm looking for that Wilson A2000. I appreciate you. Jesus also says, update. I'm gonna start a drinking game. Everything you say, or I guess I think he was meant to say every time you say, did I mention I hate clothes? I'm gonna take a drink of a nice cold refreshment. I hate clothes also, and congrats on trying to get rid of your higher end games. Yeah, well, yeah. So let's touch on that real quick, Jesus. So I went through the list yesterday of the buyback program. So if you weren't on my video yesterday, Caterpie Crew is doing a buyback program or a purchase program, and they're paying like 85% of retail. Well, I started going through some of the games, more of my games. So I did an initial check and checked a couple, and I was like, okay, I might do this. And that was before yesterday. So last night I went through the whole list and started going through more of the games, and I'm like, ah, man, like Pokemon Crystal, they're giving $100, but I can sell Pokemon Crystal on eBay for like 140 to 160. We'll just say 150, give or take. So they're, so I don't know. I may not go that route. I may just hold on to my games and just sell them on my own. So eventually, at some point. Oh man, the good game. I sell all the not good games, but all the good games. Like Silent Hill may sit for a while in the pile, the one I just picked up. So Kurt, just to kind of, even though I'm not keeping it, it may sit in my game pile that I got upstairs of all the Wii games and all the other games that are good games that I just haven't put up yet. Anyway, I don't have a method to. I don't have no rhyme or reason why I do that. I just other than I just don't like putting up a bunch of games, and it's nice to have stuff for a rainy day. I don't know. And easy stuff, quick selling, easy stuff. So anyway, Justin says, thanks for sharing. Sold 2 items today for 300 total. Dude, you're killing it. Justin, you're doing way better than I am, man. I can tell you that. You are killing it, boss. They were 2 old digital cameras I had laying around. See, digital cameras, man. One was a Sony hot pink. Currently have 48 items listed, averaging 2 sales a day. Man, I got 650 items listed, and I'm averaging 3 sales a day. So you're killing it, man. I'm telling you, something's up with my eBay. Um, but keep it up, man. Keep it up. That's amazing. Those are good numbers. That's for sure. Kevin Connolly, new. I think you are new. This is the first time I've seen a comment from Kevin. So Kevin says, that's weird on the NES console. They are usually very durable consoles other than the 72 pin. Before giving up on the blinking red light, I'd recommend trying again with a known working 72 pin and trying a different 72 pin vendor. Good luck. Well, I I I think my problem was I just wasn't cleaning the contacts well enough. So I was cleaning the contacts with disinfectant wipes, and then I cleaned the contacts with the 99% alcohol, the isopropyl alcohol. So I think that's the ticket, because a lot of gunk came, or a lot of black came off when I cleaned it with the Q-tip with the alcohol versus the disinfectant wipes. I mean, some stuff came off on the disinfectant wipes, but not a ton. But when I used the Q-tip and used the alcohol, a lot of black came off. So I think that's what where my downfall was. Like I said, I've done like 7 so far. 1 out of 7 has worked. Well, now 2 out of 7 have worked. I think the other 5 or so that I did that it didn't work. I'm pretty sure if I had just cleaned the contacts good enough, because they were all the same issue, blinking lights, which is if it's blinking lights, then it's typically it's a connection issue. Um, so yeah, so basically going forward, I think the 72 pin connectors I'm getting are good. I think they're fine. So I think I'm good there. It's just a matter of cleaning them properly, cleaning all the contacts properly with that alcohol. And so far this one worked. So I'm gonna just duplicate when I get another one. If it doesn't work, I'll do the same thing. Change out the 72 pin connector, clean the contacts really good with alcohol. Should fire right up. Because you're right, they are durable. I've yet to have an NES that just doesn't work. Like the lights don't turn on. So shame on me for not just taking it that extra mile on the other 4 or 5 consoles that I sold for parts and repair, because I'm sure the guys that got those just cleaned the leads and they were good to go. And I'm just, I'm thinking alcohol or disinfectant wipes should be enough. Obviously, it's not. So you live and you learn. Even me being around for as long as I have, you know, you make little mistakes, little rookie mistakes like that. But I can tell you going forward, I'm pretty confident. You're right. Pretty confident that the systems are pretty. They're little tanks. They go forever. So it's just a matter of cleaning the contacts and things like that. So yes, but I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you hanging out. And Kevin, hopefully you subscribe. And last comment is Yarina. So last comment, Yarina says, thanks again for the continuous help and great advice. And don't worry about the length of the videos. At least in my case, whether it's 20-minute video or an hour long, it's still entertaining, informative, and fun to watch. Where on eBay can you find how things sell for? So Yarina, if you go to, let me actually show you real quick. Let me show you. Let's show real quick. I don't know if you can, should be able to see that. So for anything, whenever I look stuff up on eBay, so let's say I want to look up, I don't know, let's do this. I got Super Mario 3 in the box, right? So we'll do Super Mario 3 in the box and look that up and just kind of give you an idea of how I do it at least. So I'm going to do Mario 3 NES CIB because it's complete. So CIB. All right. And so this is where a lot of people fail when it comes to looking things up and assuming prices on stuff. So I see this all the time. Oh, I got a complete CIB Mario 3 in the box, man. It's worth $600. Why? Because they see $600 there. Okay. It's worth $400, man. Oh, okay. I mean, I can put a turd on there for $3,000, man. Come on. Are you serious? So what has it sold for? What are they selling for? Okay. So if you come down here to the filter and you go to sold, you click on sold and it should automatically highlight completed. So it's now going to show you what's sold and completed listing. And so these turn green. That's telling you that it's sold and it's complete. So this is a graded. The reason that was 440 is that's graded an 8. If you go here, here's another CIB that's a 50. They went for $55 on auction. Here's one that sold. They took an offer. It was $139.99. But that scratch out means they took an offer. Somebody sent them an offer and they took it. So we don't know what that offer is, but that's that. This one sold for $119. This one sold for $800, but it was a graded 9.2 graded. So that's not what we have. We don't have a graded copy. So that's basically it. This was sold for $59. So that's how you get an idea of. So I think I have mine up for $99.99. It hasn't sold yet, but that's what I have mine up for. So then from there you just kind of make an educated decision on where you want yours to fall. Somewhere in this range. I don't know why this one sold for three left. Super Mario inbox game near mint sold for $222 near mint. They're saying that's why it sold for so high. $80 on this one working near mint cover. So that's it. You just look at the main thing is you come over here and look at anything that you're looking up. You come over here to sold and completed and look up sold and completed, because you don't want to go off of what's just on eBay. Because like I said before, I can put I can cut my hair and put a whole clump of hair on there for $5,000 as Joe's hair. Buy it now, $5,000, and come on, that doesn't mean somebody's going to buy it. And again, that's the big thing. And a lot of people will just Google Lens stuff now, which I really hate because people Google Lens things, and same principle applies there with Google Lens. It's you see all the what they're posted for, not what they're selling for, and so that blows me away too. People use Google Lens all the time, and that's what they decide. Oh, you're bouncing around. That's what they decide the price is what they see on Google Lens, and I'm like, no, that's not it, boss. That's, you got to dig a little further, peel back some of those layers, and dig a little bit deeper, because that's not what it is. So anyway, hopefully that helped a little bit. um let's see, where do you go to find things to sold for on eBay? When you said the other day people look stuff up and see listings high, and I think that goes I high and think that's what it goes for, but you got to look at the price charting, something like that. Not sure if I'm explaining myself. So you are explaining yourself. Yes. So price charting is price charting is a video game Pokemon card. Actually, they're doing sports cards now on there. It's a third party pricing platform is what it is basically. So it's another way to look stuff up, but it's only those categories. So price charting pulls data from like eBay and other sales platforms, and then it gives a average price. So I use it mainly for video games, but a lot of people use it. Like I said, they just enhanced it to include sports cards now. TCG, so trading card games, so Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that kind of stuff. Um, I want to say maybe action figures possibly as well, but it's very specific categories. So those very specific categories that price charting gives prices for. It's just those. So if you're looking up like I don't know, clothes, they're not going to be on there. If you're looking up DVDs, they're not on there. Electronics, they're not on there. So that stuff, you obviously use eBay, and you can use eBay for all of it, really. I use price charting because it's a quick way for me to look up games. I can look up a game real quick and be like, oh, okay, CIB goes for this. CIB is complete in box, goes for X. Loose disc goes for Z. Brand new goes for Y. And then it shows a chart of the price of where it's been trending, on whether it's going up, going down over the past 6 months, a year, 5 years. So you can kind of see so all that kind of information helps. Typically, though, when I get a collection, I just look up the games real quick, and then I filter good games, go in a pile that I don't sell, Kurt. And then all the other games, I bundle, and or if they're lower end games, I just throw them on eBay if they're $10 or so, plus shipping, $15 plus shipping, 20 plus shipping, or free shipping. But either way, those typically go up. Anything that's higher end, I typically hold on to. That's just me. But anyway, yeah. So price charting, unless you're doing video games, TCG, sports cards, which really I would say most people don't even use that for sports cards. It's mainly like video games and like TCG, but also TCG has like its own page, and it's way more accurate. So most people that are into Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic the Gathering, they typically use TCG anyway, because TCG is more accurate, and it's a bigger platform. It pulls data from a lot more places, from what I understand. It's got its own internal buying and selling platform, I believe, for all the TCG cards. So it's a bigger platform. Real collectors of TCG cards, Pokemon, and all that kind of stuff, they use TCG. Not many of those guys use price charting. Price charting I would say, is more so for video games. Now, again, can you look all that other stuff up on there? Yes. Is it as accurate? But like I said, I just use price charting for video games. Again, if you use price charting for anything else, guys, let me know. Drop it in the comments. But that's it, guys. Still a long video. I apologize. I was trying to keep this one around 30 minutes, but we're pushing 50. So, but that's it. We covered comments. We covered sourcing. We covered sales, and hopefully you guys got a little something out of this video. That's what it's about, is sharing a little something. So, again, appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm out of here. I got 25 helmets to pack upstairs for my helmet business. And then I'm gonna get out of here and do lunch. It's 11 o'clock, so hopefully an hour and a half I can get that all knocked out, and then me and my daughter are gonna head to lunch, and I may hit the driving range, like I said, if y'all heard me or not. But I'm trying to step my golf game up a little bit. So, and actually, they put out a post in one of my local neighborhoods that they're looking for softball, co-ed softball, and I'm like, you know what? I was pretty good at baseball back in the day. I may have to. So I put out that I'm gonna volunteer. So I'm gonna or play. I'd like to play. So it'd be nice to play some softball. But anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna jump off here. I appreciate all y'all support once again. Appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you guys subscribing, watching the videos. It means a lot. Again, anything I can share, articulate, touch on further, let me know. If there's any specific topics that you want to know about, let me know. If you're new to the channel and you're just like, hey, I like what you do, drop a comment. Let me know. If you don't like it, let me know that too, if I can do something better. That's all I got for you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and we'll see y'all tomorrow, assuming we have sales, which I'm going to try to do something to help my sales. So, marketing promo and a discount simultaneously at the same time, hopefully will yield some sales. So, anyway, enjoy the rest of the day, everybody, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.